Hello, welcome to Living in 3D with Janice B. I'm Janice, and I thank you for joining me here in Upper Marlboro today, Labor Day weekend. I am, doing something a little different today. I thought I'd share with you a project that I'm working on, which is actually my garden. Um, I'm going to attempt to give you a view. This year I thought I'd, try my hand at growing some tomatoes and other things and actually getting some results here. Not sure if you can actually see, this is a view of my garden. Probably see there's a bunch of leaves, but here's an actual tomato that grew. I'm actually experiencing growth. Very proud of that. The reason being is because this is not my first attempt at trying to plant a garden. It's actually my third attempt. Previous attempts were not as successful. The results that I got was what people, jokingly called misfit fruits. Tried to plant watermelons. They came out the size of grapes and oranges and so forth. So I realized I had to make some changes. So this year what I did differently was actually hired a master gardener to come out and show me some of the things that could be improved. They came out and it was like, oh, well, your soil is all wrong. It's like clay. You need to, try square foot gardening. Just try all new soil. You need to put your vegetables in a place to get more sunlight. You know, I listened to the messages. I made the changes, and now I'm reaping the rewards. Um, Last week, and talked about the 3D system. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, the 3D system is what I call dreaming, divining, and doing. And I talked about the first stage, which is dreaming. And I said, that's the first stage that I'm talking about because everybody dreams. Like I said, not everybody has the skills to divine yet, and maybe not everyone has the spiritual tools and talismans that's needed to do the work to bring about changes, but everybody dreams. So, like I said, I talked about dreaming and learning how to ascertain the messages that spirit is communicating to us. I talked about keeping a dream journal and creating your own lore as taught to me by Chief Amachi. So after I took a good look at my dreams, and specifically the dream that I shared with you last week, I realized that these were messages about myself that spirit was telling me, I needed to change so that I could also grow as my garden is growing. I look at spirit, as also being sort of like a master gardener. They show you why in life your watermelons may be coming out the size of grapes. In other words, why you may not be getting the results that you want. So, with that being said, I'd like to also share another dream that I had when I was in the Dream Warriors class, and I'm actually going to walk around because the sun is not shining so bright, so it may be kind of dark. But so the dream that I had another dream that so I play saxophone, or I used to play saxophone in high school and college, and as an adult, I decided I wanted to get back into it. And so whenever I feel like I need some help doing something, I always try to search out an expert, someone to teach me, to kind of give me like private lessons so that I could, get up to par. So in this particular dream, I did just that. I was searching out a teacher, someone that, I thought was good. And in this particular dream, I recognized this teacher as being someone that was a student. When I was in high school, a guy that everybody raved about. He was so good. He was like the best thing since like John Coltrane. He was so great. And when I saw him, and I didn't know who my teacher was in this dream. It was like, hey, I hired a teacher, and then I went to the studio to do a practice session with him. And when I discovered who it was, I was like, oh, hey, it's you. Oh, I know this is going to be an awesome lesson because it's you. And I recognized him from high school as someone who could really play really well. And when it was time for the lesson, this guy sucked. I mean, he wasn't good. It was a big disappointment. and that was the end of the dream. And like the other dream that I shared, I realized that this is a message to me. My observations, like I said, whenever you have a dream, it's good to come up with your initial observations of what you think it means, and then to observe what's going on in your waking life. This is a way to kind of analyze your dreams. I realized that this was telling me something about my character, and it kind of paralleled with the dream that I shared with you last week about um, my experience in the dream that I had about getting my hair done by someone who wasn't qualified. It was about uh, I looked at it as me, again, not vetting people and me giving up too much, giving people too much credit, when it may not be earned, and kind of just, just falling into this, like, oh yeah, you must be this, and actually kind of even not even having enough confidence in myself, because in this dream it was like I didn't hear anything from this person. I haven't looked at any credentials. I just automatically assumed that they must be great, and just kind of too trusting, not vetting, not really having a actual process to make sure and to be certain of the types of people that I'm bringing into my life. And I looked at that as a message from spirit. It actually, like I said, parallel right along with the previous dream that I had, about being careful and vetting people and not giving up too much of my power. So this was a very, very important message that I got from spirit. Um, you know, this is just, I'm taking you through my process. All of these dreams are recorded in my journal. And, after time, I always go back and I look at the dreams and I see, okay, these are some of the patterns and some of the things that spirit is revealing to me about myself. And these are areas where I need to grow. So this is just the first step. Like I said, dreams. I'll be sharing different dreams that I had and observations that I made, and it's a growth process. That's what this week is about. It's about growth. And I encourage each of you to also do the same thing. If you haven't, if you don't keep a dream journal, I encourage you to start. I encourage you to also, if you want to learn more about how to analyze your dreams and create your own lore so you can have a better understanding of what's going on in your life, sign up at IIKDS for a Dream Warriors course. So, until next week, remember, live life in 3D, dream, divine, and do. And if I can be of assistance to you, if you need assistance, if you need divinations, I can provide that service for you. If you need some more clarification on the dreams, want to be sure of the messages that Spirit is revealing to you, feel free to contact me. I can be reached at JB Divines. That's JBDIVINES, JB Divines at gmail.com. Look forward to talking to you. Live life in 3D.